I just wanted to take a quick moment to welcome you to our concerts this evening. We really enjoy performing here at First United Methodist Church, and we thank you for your support. We love seeing so many people here to hear us perform, and I just want to thank you personally. Our next number is going to be kind of interesting, so I thought I'd take a minute to introduce it to you. This piece, if you look at a standard orchestra, you will see instruments of all sizes and shapes. From the contrabass, one of the bigger instruments, tuba, all the way to the piccolo, even the triangle, which is very small, or finger cymbals, which are even smaller yet. And these are kind of the standardized instruments that orchestras use. And most composers, when they compose, they sort of stay with that. And they stay with it because they're afraid if they use something unusual, then people won't buy their music to play. The musicians are afraid, or conductors. But every once in a while, a conductor will ask for something different. And in 1954, when Arthur Fiedler was conducting the Boston Pops, they were getting ready for a recording studio. And they went in and they started going over songs they were going to make a recording of, and they found out they were 3 minutes and 10 minutes short of music that they needed. And so they didn't know what to do. The recording was 5 days away. So they went to one of their favorite guys who wrote for them, composer Leroy Anderson. They said, do you think that you can write a piece for us 3 minutes and 10 seconds? 3 minutes and 10 seconds, can you do it for us in 5 days? Well, he got it done in 3 days, giving them a day to go over it, which is kind of cool. Because to go in, instead of playing it live, they got to go over it once. The interesting thing was, when he went home and he sat down in his office and he was trying to come up with an idea, he started thinking about early days when soft shoe people would dance, and they would take sand and they would throw it on the stage, so when they danced, they would get this crinkling sound. He said, I'd love to write a piece just with that sound. I have that sound in my head. So he got this idea of writing a piece using sandpaper. Seriously, sandpaper. And he said, wow, this is going to be really cool. So he went out, got some sandpaper, different sizes, coarse, medium, and fine. And he thought, this will give different colors. They can play different dynamics with it. This is going to be great. And he went home and he composed this thing in 3 days called Sandpaper Ballet. And we're going to play it for you tonight. It's going to be kind of fun. The interesting thing here is that you can search all over the world. It's very difficult to find musicians that can play the sandpaper blocks. I mean, we looked. And then we couldn't, we put an ad in the paper, we put it on the news, and we said, we need somebody desperately. Then we found out we had 3 of our own musicians in the orchestra who, I did not know this until I talked to them about it, they spent 8 years each attending Sandpaper University so that they are now considered sandpaper virtuoso players. And they wanted to go out and buy these very expensive instruments, because if you know the cost of instruments, a harp, easily $50,000. You can spend $50,000 on a cello, on a violin. I mean, instruments are costly. And they wanted to invest in one. I think they were going to go down to $25,000. But we decided to go to Home Depot, and for $10.98, we have our instruments. So sorry, guys. Anyhow, many of you use these, guys in particular, in your workshops and everything, and I'm sure after you hear this, you're going to go home and you're going to put on some music and you're going to sing it a little differently after this tonight. Okay? So what I want to do now, I'm going to introduce the guys, and then we're going to start. I'm going to lower this just a little for you. Okay? Somehow. Here we go. And we'll get started. First of all, from Sandpaper University, which was located in California, we have David Eckbush. He's going to play Sandpaper Box 1. From Sandpaper University from New York, we have Dean Boyles playing Sand Block number 2. And from Sandpaper University in Round Rock, Texas, we have Justin Beeman. You guys ready? Oh, I forgot. They want a tune. All right. Jocelyn? You're good? You need a tune? Yes. Good? Oh my gosh, that is really, really sharp. I know what the problem is. Good? Okay.